Welcome to the Mass Journal. This is my trading journal based on my trading experiences and my trading um, experiences and my trading experiences and my trading experiences. But you're free to give out your own opinion as long as it's intelligible and well opinionated. Then we're gonna look at it. If it's not, we're not gonna, entertain that. This is a journal. I don't want to say documenting a journey, but it is a journal that documents the journey that I am on right now in terms of my trading. Like, I've been trading for 9 years now. Okay, I haven't been trading for 9 years. I've been in the trading space for 9 years. I've probably been trading for like 7, where I actually think I know what I'm doing, where I'm actually gauging myself to actually know what I'm doing. Here's the thing when it comes to trading. Most of the things that you do, you have to be sure about them as you do them, even if you are new to that space. So don't get dragged down when someone tells you that you don't know what you're doing. No. As long as you didn't get to the point that you are, envisioning yourself, you are still in the process of learning. You are still in the process of education. It's kind of like going to school, acquiring a degree. That's the process of trading. You have to take it like that. Don't take it as if you need to answer other people's questions and you need to prove yourself to other people. They don't trade for you. They don't fund for you. They don't go through whatever we go through in the background, which is failure, the loss, the preparation, the trader PTSD. They don't go through that. So why are you explaining that to them? Now, again, I try to explain the market in the easiest way possible. Trading is about utilizing your own funds in real time based on the context of the market, understanding the context of the market, and finding the most easy and most efficient way to interact with that market condition over a lengthy period of time to achieve that goal. That's what trading is. Now, everything becomes complicated because you have to learn everything within the industry. If you learn about water, you need to learn why is it a gas? Why does it turn into a gas? Why does it turn into a solid? There's the entirety of water. What is, I don't know. The thing is, it's broad. It's broad. You have to educate yourself and then execute on whatever you educated yourself in, and then evaluate your executions. Your journals are necessary because they show you where you are in your journey, what you need to learn, what you don't need to learn, what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is with our journal, we don't necessarily go through our journals every day because my journal is juggled up. This is my research journal. I have like choir books, like 3 choir books. And these books, this is where I put out my research, my perspectives, what I think I'm going to create, what I think I should be approaching the market with. Removing as much variables as possible. What is the most important thing in the market? How do I utilize its risk management? What does it breed? What type of trader does it create? You know what I'm saying? Then I have obviously my strategies and all that. Here's the thing. You can't backtest a system. You can backtest direct trades that are systematic. What does that mean? It means the context of the trade that you're trying to backtest is probably an assumption, because every day there is a specific sequence that you dealt with in order to achieve your goal. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because it's a thought that just came into my mind that backtesting is not real. Forward testing is. Yes, forward testing is a real thing because you can curate your own scenarios, your own market scenarios, and deal with it. But backtesting from a systematic standpoint, if you're not an expert advisor, a trading robot or AI or you cannot backtest. Backtesting is not really tangible. The best way to backtest is if you have journaled all your trades. If you journal all your trades, then you can backtest because you understand the complete context of that trade. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to put that out there. This was a thing we used to do where we backtest our strategies during the weekend, which is improbable. It's useless. It doesn't help with anything. But you can go through, review your trades, your actual trades, On Monday, that's what I did. This is what I did on Tuesday. Here's a process of journaling. If you didn't watch my journal video, there's two types of journaling. There's direct journaling when you're actually executing your trade, and then there's normal journaling. The journaling where it has your strategies, your research, your perspectives and psychologies. That you decide how you put it out. That depends on what you interact with on a day-to-day basis. That depends on what you want to put in there. And then we have your real-time journal. Your real-time journal is based on the days that you trade. Now, you can either set the length period that you wish to trade, if you're already an experienced trader and you already know how to breed outcomes from the market, or you can just create the days as it goes until the market eventually hits your goal or until you eventually blow. Now, I'm going to explain the first one. The first one is you set out a trade goal, 90 days. These are 90 folders. Every day you're going to utilize the same process. Market analysis, update for your trades, and market overview. Obviously, it's straightforward. Market analysis is how you analyze the market and why you analyzed it like that. Update is to interact with your trades, how you interacted with your trades. You record yourself. Obviously, you're not going to be trading every second, every minute. The context of the market tells you when you want to be paying attention to that specific chart. It tells you that, okay, this happened at 8 a.m. You probably want to need to come back to the market around 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. You know what I'm saying? The context directs you. Now, it's market analysis, update, and overview. The overview is you recording yourself expressing the market's outcome to your execution. I executed in this manner, and the market decided to do this. The next time I trade, I think I will be looking at this and this. I'm going to reduce my risk. Tomorrow, I plan on doing this. Another thing is profit creates perspective and direction. That's why the second point is going to make more sense. So that's how you journal the first part, which is, I don't know what to call it, direct journaling from a real-time perspective, direct journaling, or should I say goal journaling. I don't want to say goal journaling. If I say goal journaling, it means we're just looking at the goal. No, every definition is important in the market. Every word has its own description. So we'll just call it direct journaling towards a specific goal. And then the second one is continuous journaling. It's also real time. It's real time, how you interact with the market in real time. But the reason this time you don't put out the time period of your goal is because there are no constrictions in the market. You're not restricted to a time limit to achieve your goal. And usually the best type of trade success comes from the freedom to fail, from the freedom to do what you want. But now that requires a lot of discipline because you don't create these 90 folders. Every day you have to create a new folder until you eventually hit your goal, until you eventually blow. But the most structured one is the one putting out your goal. A lot of people get, okay, let me say this. The reason I stated it out in that way, that there's two types of direct journaling, is because some people will get directed by the journal itself and think that's how trading actually works. No, it's over this period that you've traded right now. So, yeah, you learn how to journal. That takes education. It takes time. It takes years to understand that this is necessary. This is not useless information. This is important information. This is something I can come back to. You know what I'm saying? I should stop saying you know what I'm saying. But basically, that's what it means. And those are the types of journal. But this is a video of understanding that training does take time. Nothing comes easy. It's costly. It's costly because it teaches you the necessary skills. Now, the thing is, it's like every other industry. I believe every industry teaches you how to perform if you stick long enough with that industry and if you have a specific intention around that industry. In trading, you have to want to be better. You have to want to perform better than all other traders, perform better than yourself, understand the market in its entirety, in real time. you want to always improve. So the motto improvement, maintenance, and victory is not necessarily mine. It's just the market itself that you have to improve if you want to stay long enough in this game. You have to maintain what you have to stay long enough in this game. And you always have to attempt to win. Your attempt shouldn't be just to say, I'm trying. You know, there's this saying that as long as I tried, I did my best. No. In trading, we don't try. It sounds scary, I know. But, watch other videos and understand that, yeah, there's easier perspective to look at the market. There's easier ways to interact with the market. It doesn't have to be hard, you know what I'm saying? You choose how hard it is. But depending on who you are, what you need to be, and what you think you are, that the journey becomes different. You know what I'm saying? The journey becomes different. If you didn't change, you didn't put enough effort. If you didn't change as a person, you should be discouraged. You should be feeling ashamed. I don't know why I'm saying that, but the idea is that when I do watch these videos and I watch myself, I see someone completely different. The way I sound, my perspectives, the way I do things. Look, I'm also in the learning process. That's why I'm curating this aggressive competitive trading strategy, because I feel like if I trade like that, I'll be happy and comfortable. I don't want to trade slow money, gradual over time and stuff like that. Like the idea that trading, you accumulate break by break over time, that's not true. It's a form of trading. It's kind of like confluence. You interact with the market the way you feel like is true. If I want to trade patterns only, I'll only interact with the market when the market displays patterns only. If I want to trade mechanical points, if I want to trade discretionary points, it's not one way of making money. It's a specific way of making money. Is it a good way? Yes, it's a good way. But it's not my way. You know what I'm saying? Do I have it? Did I attempt it? Did I succeed in it? Yes. Was it good? Yes. It's the one that's taught me all this market perspectives and realities. But it's not the only way to make money. Again, now, if I was not self-reliable, I wouldn't be in a position to say, yes, I have a trading system that works. Yes, I have a trading system that pays me over time if I put in the work, and I don't really need to put in that much work. It's a successful trading journey. No, I don't want that. That as much as it's successful, it takes time. I don't want to be taking time. You know what I'm saying? I want the power to be able to feel like I move the market. Obviously, I don't move the market. I can't move the market. But I want to have so much knowledge, so much skill, so much detachment to decision that it feels like I move the market. You know what I'm saying? Have I traded like that before? Yes. But it took me so much time to understand how that happened, because there's so much abstract behind it. You know, abstract risk, there's a trade that cost 1,000, but you want to decide to put 30K on that trade. That's abstract. That's based on choice. You don't need to do that. And it's not that you're an aggressive trader. Only that trade you took an aggressive setup, because it's at a better position than most trades. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically that. I'm trying to curate the strategy because I want to trade aggressively, and I want to trade anyway, anytime. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna take advice from other traders. I'm not gonna listen to traders that don't have the same perspective as I have, which is the same goal as I have. I have an understanding of pairs, why they are assigned that way, what many pairs means, what a singular pair means, how to trade mechanically from multiple pairs and singular pairs. Where is the error? Where, I understand these things. I understand the amount of work I need to put into train myself. My gradual trading strategy, or should I say confluence trading, is based on confluence. But before I explain confluence to myself, I have to do some research to explain the market objectives to myself. How money is made in the market, how money is not made in the market, how money is lost in the market, what type of traders trade in the market, what is confluence, what is context, what is risk management, what is natural risk, what is probable risk, what is what types of risk management exist. I need to explain everything from the trader and market perspective to myself. This is training. It's not just to tell me this is how you use your strategy, this is how you win, we're gonna make money. No, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's not how it works. There should be some sort of structure. Again, the market taught me this. And how did it teach me this? When I failed, it taught me, yo, go look at your failures. Why didn't you get what you want? And then I found out you didn't get what you want because this. You didn't get what you want because you need to fix this. You didn't get what you want because you need to go here. As much as I say I don't listen to other traders, it doesn't mean I don't watch their content. I don't listen to what they say. Like, every information is beneficial. Even there's certain information that certain information that you need to listen to just disagree with, to just find that that dormant side of yourself, which is, I needed to always disagree. Maybe disagreeing on specific parts of my system takes me forward. So I do listen to them as study, but I don't listen to them as definite. This is definitely what I should do. This is definitely how I should think. No, the market is based on now and the future. Everyone who's made money, everyone who claims to be a success, everyone who claims to be of power, has the now and the future to prove themselves. And from now until the future, you and them are equal. Only real-time price can tell you what you need to do and how you need to do it. You just need to be skilled enough. Obviously, I have to put that in the training. So during program trading, when I was designing program trading, those are the things that I put up. Obviously, they're going to be weaker because I was younger and probably a bit dumber. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was like 3 years ago or 3.5 years ago. It's not going to be as sharp as now. The reason now it's so hard, because I know so much. I understand so much. And I have to break it down into a point where it's simple for myself. It's simple, but it also, covers everything that is important in terms of designing their strategies. Like, I don't know, it's a feeling. I have a genuine feeling. A genuine feeling of success. I don't know. It feels scary. I don't know. It's not even the YouTube channel. Like I said, I don't even care if 10 people watch this, because I watch these videos and it helps me when it comes to my journaling and creation of these things that I want to use, and material that I hope to create for the future. So, yeah, I don't really mind. I'm not really paying attention to the YouTube success. I'm paying attention to the success that I'm about to perform into my trading, which is, I've always wanted to trade aggressively, but have some sort of control. But I didn't understand how to have the control, because I didn't understand the market in itself for what it truly is. Like, the market being 50-50, the market having, three patterns, and all these patterns are the ones that drive everything on the charts. But what I am grateful about is that this gradual trading system taught me diversification, specification, how to curate a goal, why, when does it make sense. Another thing that I need to remember is that as much as you plan, once you execute, you get more direction. So you can plan and feel like this is incomplete. I still feel like I still need to know more. Trust me, when you execute the plan and you journal, you'll find out more than you did when you were just planning. So I do know that I'm going to find out a lot more about my aggressive trading strategy once I do execute the plan. But I'm just going to try and put out as much variables as possible and solve them. And once I solve them, I deal with only the things that I cannot handle, or the few that I cannot handle, which is, it's better to have a few things that you cannot handle than a lot of things that you cannot handle. So yeah, this is a live trading chat to update myself based on the mechanical trading strategy, which is don't forget why you started. Now, don't look down on the time you put in because of where other people are. The market is always open. The opportunity is always there. I make it happen, or it will never happen. You know what I'm saying? I have to think like that. I make it happen, or it will never happen. It's harsh, but it's not really that harsh because the market is always open. So figuring out how to, trade successfully is not really that big of a deal. The big of a deal is figuring out a way you know how to do it. When I enter, when I exit. And one thing I started realizing, not even realizing, I was going through one of the lives. I'm probably going to post it tomorrow. And I come to understand that the utilization of tools is a form of strategy. Selecting timeframes and sticking to those specific timeframes and understanding the context of those specific timeframes is also a strategy. Is it discretionary in a way? Yes. And there's a saying that discretionary trading doesn't make that much money, which I agree with. You know what I'm saying? Mechanical trading makes a lot of money, but mechanical trading combined with discretionary trading ensures that losses are reduced, ensures that noise is reduced in your trading. And I understood that I was searching for how to put out my tools instead of just finding out how I perceive the market on a day-to-day basis. How do I break down context to utilize the most effective and the most easiest strategy? I have a list of strategies. Now I have to remove the ones that are useless, combine the ones that correlate and make them one thing. The max amount of strategies I should be using. One for trend. Here's the thing, I'm going to be mechanical trading the H1. So is there really a trend on the H1? I'll call it flow. One for flow. One for consolidations. I need to identify, okay, one for flow, one for condition. So identify condition, identify flow. Then one for, I don't know, should I say sniper entries or smaller time frame entries? I don't know. But one thing I do know is that the process is first identify your condition, then identify the structural points, then utilize what you have. And then, I don't know why is this even a big deal. It's not even really that big of a deal because it's literally the same trading strategy as my project trading, program trading. Because one is trend trading, one is time frame trading. When I come into the market, the first thing I look at is the structure. Does the structure produce a trade? No. If the structure doesn't produce a trade, what does the condition produce? If the condition produces mechanical points, then I can look for entries on on a rational time frame. Rational time frame, if the M4 is moving in a particular way, and then you open the H1, and the H1 is respecting the H4, that is rationality. You don't just mix time frames. They should show you some sort of evidence that they are interacting, that they are relating. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, as soon as I do conclude creating the training for myself, I'm probably not gonna post YouTube videos anymore because I would have achieved my goal, which is understanding when to trade, how to trade, whenever I feel like, wherever I feel like, with whatever amount I have. Because that was the goal. The goal was to be the master trader. The master trader can trade utilizing any account size, any market condition, anywhere. I don't need to be disciplined, having a process. No, I went through that, building myself phase and understanding why it's necessary, where it needs to be put in place. Right now, the goal is just to get this mechanical trading strategy mixed with the discretionary trading perspective, aggressive risk, and competitive trading. I'm better than other traders. That should be the mindset to ensure, attitude. Attitude is another abstract, a positive abstract in trading. Here's another thing. The trading space helped people isolate themselves and learn, but it also isolated people and ruined a lot of people. The isolation period was for you to learn, but the truth is trading is better when there's people around your space, meaning there's people who can trade well and who can exchange those ideas with you. If you have a trading group, it's best, it's better, because you're going to trade, you're going to be forced to trade better. Here's the thing, if you don't associate yourself with activity, like consistent trading, associate yourself with intelligence. People will make smart money. You know what I'm saying? It's either they make hard-earned money from the market or they make smart money from the market. And usually this is done when there is a group of people. It's easier to digest and express these two ideas. But if you're not planning to interact with other traders like me, I don't like people. Do I want to interact with other traders? I don't know. One thing I don't want is a sense of ego. I don't want that. That phase, I threw it away. Like I said, my focus, my journey right now is on improvement, maintenance, and victory. Pure confidence. Pure confidence. That's what I want. I don't want ego like I'm the one. No. I am the one because I can. Not I am the one because I say so. I am the one because I can. And that's the goal. So if you want to be that, be sure that you are continuously in the market. Activity, activity, activity. And the goal is, how do I make profit without complaining? Or intelligence, intelligence, intelligence. How do I make profit? By planning and plotting each and every move that I take in the market. And the most important thing is education. The skilled trader will always beat the funded trader. And the skilled trader is created by continuous market execution. I repeat, just because you trade less doesn't mean you make more money. Unless you have 100 Gs to put on a trade, then trade less. But if you don't have 100 Gs to put on a trade, just like everyone else, you have to put in the work. You have to trade every day. Every day. And it's another thing I didn't want to accept. I had this mindset that once you achieve one trading goal, the next trading goal is just going to be a piece of cake, and you just chew. The only benefit about trading, if you were skilled enough, funded enough, is that you can do it anywhere. It's money without hard labor. That's the only benefit about trading from a direct perspective, that you can utilize your phone to make a shit ton of money, can utilize your PC to make a shit ton of money, and you can be anywhere in the world. That's the good side of trading. The bad side of trading is that none of that becomes a reality unless you go through a shit ton of pain. None of that becomes a reality unless you go through a shit ton of mental growth, meaning be educated, unless you become the surgeon. For me, I label traders as three people: the surgeon, the athlete, and the king. These people have to perform regardless, no matter what. No matter how prepared they are, no matter how focused, no matter how good they are, they have to perform no matter what. They put in the effort beforehand and still have to put in the effort afterhand. And these people have no ego, pure confidence in their ability. They don't come into the market saying, I know I can perform the surgery because I'm a surgeon and I should perform it. No, I see this patient and I'm going to try my best to perform the best surgery out there. Same thing with the athlete. I understand the market, I understand the game conditions, and I'm going to try to produce what I need to. And then same thing with the king. This is my land. I need to make sure that this land thrives. I need to make sure that this land is protected, is progressive. You know what I'm saying? No one is going to come out from their own kingdom to help you build yours. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically that. If you want the absence of work, remember traders are surgeons, athletes, and kings. So there's no trader who can enjoy the luxury of the absence of work. The only absence of work is that you don't have to pick up heavy shit. You don't have to listen to anyone tell you what to do. You don't have to wait for opportunity. You create it. You know what I'm saying? You create it by being skilled enough, by being educated enough, by being prepared enough, by being accountable enough, by being responsible enough. Being focused, paying attention, by being the master. Fluency, study, practice, revision. Things that require to be a great trader. You don't just become a great trader. And that's why I say I can't listen to other traders, because the market is based on real time. What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me that's going to help me trade better? You can only give me psychologies, perspectives that I choose to take in. But in terms of execution, you can't help me with anything. Because number one, you don't know my situation. Situation plays a role. Your funding, your market access, and the objective you've set, and your skill. You don't know the level of my skill. You don't know how long I've been trading. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't take pride in how long I've been in the market. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I take pride is how much work I've done during that period, what I've created. If I was still the same person, just, trying to hit a goal, I want to achieve this trade goal without anything to show for it, to prove my understanding, without a point of reference, I wouldn't be happy. Without the change that I see, I wouldn't be happy. But yeah, I have a sense, a sixth sense. It's not even a sixth sense, it's just reality. The world has always been magic. The fact that you see the sun there, it's crazy to believe that, or to think that there isn't a God. There's a God. You know what I'm saying? There's a God. This in itself is a blessing. Being part of this reality is a blessing on its own. You know what I'm saying? I'm not more special than you. You're not special. You're not more special than anyone. We're all the same, and we get to be part of this blessing. So it's not a feeling. It's not a sixth sense. It's a reality. Like, I can clearly see my reality as soon as I complete the creation of my training and log in and say, okay, this is what I do. Now, when I say log in, I'm not saying winter arc. Even though, yes, I do have a winter arc. Your trading strategies have to have some sort of an arc. There's certain things that you have to do repeatedly that are boring, irritating, that make you a good trader. But yeah, I just have this sighting that it's about to, the floodgates are open for me and for many other traders. Like I said, we're in the era where every trader that has been trading for the past 5 to 7 years, we're trading by 2020, 2017, the floodgates are open. You're about to make a shit ton of money because, number one, there's us who's explaining the market for what it is, and eventually we want to get tools and resources to actually put out the charts there and explain how to actually get these entries, because who cares if the market stops moving because we've stayed out great information? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Genuinely, I don't care. Because there's so many markets. Even if this market starts moving sideways, we move to another one. I don't want to go through the run that I went through again, that they're trying to destroy economy. Not market makers. I don't want to call them market makers. I don't want to give them so much respect. But those who are set to protect the economy, I want to destroy the economy because they just can't have it within themselves that retail traders actually understand how to make money now. My goal is to understand the entire market, from peg to fixed markets. What does it all mean? Well, these policies, why does Russia trade like that? I wanted to know it all because I don't want any variable to be in my face when now I am just chilling and trading the way I want. I did it to be so prepared that I don't need to be prepared. That when I do trade, I do acknowledge that I just have to put in a slight effort, and these are the specific type of efforts and perspectives that I need to hold, and then I trade. Cool. Dope. And I also wanted to create trading as a job. Like, there's hedge funds. I want to create my own hedge fund, which is if I fund or if my people fund, every month they have to produce a specific result. What type of trader skill, education do I need? So that's why it also took this amount of years. It was not necessarily just to get one trading call and just move on. Portfolio, a track record. Portfolio and track record cannot be created if you don't have proven systems that run on data. On data. Context is data. So you can only understand it by putting in the time. Me, now, if you're to ask me how long would it take me as an office trader to get used to every market condition, it takes a year for me to experience as many market conditions as possible. Again, remember, you can utilize one pair and experience reactionary trading, or you can utilize multiple pairs, experience selectivity, and understand these different market conditions. Over a period of a year, you would have taken enough trades to understand that the market works according to structure and your account size. The only thing that makes sense, or the only thing that's important, is how well you utilize your account. Whatever other traders are saying is just noise. But what other traders are saying is to build that structure. Like I said, there are good traders out there, and then there's just trash. Everything on TikTok, trash. There are no good traders on TikTok. I'm sorry. Everything you see on TikTok is trash. I say it on YouTube. There's people like Tom Trades. There's people like Theo Reina. There's UK Sports Bet. That guy is one of the best. UK spread sports betting or something like that. Amazing trader, trading nut. Amazing traders. If you're already a seasoned trader, professional trader, you're already building and curating systems. Trade Wasdom or something like that. Ways of Trade Dom. That Indian guy, amazing. So there are channels out there that are actually legit, and then there's channels that are trash. Someone's going to tell you that don't use large leverage when you trade. Here's the thing: if you understand intention, use as much leverage as you want. If you understand what you're doing, use as much leverage as you want. Every trade is 50-50. If you blow that trade, boo-hoo. If you win, it's celebrations everywhere. Red pennies are out and all that. You understand? So some things you just have to take them directly. You have to understand those perspectives. That yes, there's a time to be systematic. And even when I'm trying to hit my trade goal, I'm systematic. But when it comes to performance, there are opportunities where they say, come on, be stylish, dazzle. And what are you going to do? In order to be remembered, you're going to be stylish, dazzling. And that's what you do. If it hits you, you take it like a man. That loss alone will open up so many doors for you, because now you understand, okay, I've always been in control. Even the amount of money that I want, I've always been in control. As much as my account is at a specific size, I've always been in control. So yeah, I could ramble for like fucking 30 years about the market. You know what I'm saying? The only thing the reason I'm also in front of the camera right now is because I'm avoiding the work. I don't want to lie, I'm avoiding creating this training. It's frustrating to my mind as much as I see what I want, and it's frustrating because it's research, it's going through results, but it's worth it, because you give up your 20s to live like a king in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, until you die, until your kids die, until they die. So that was the goal. The goal was, here's the thing, I will give up my 20s. Popping bottles in a club, come on, man. I'd rather have $2 billion in my bank in my 40s than fucking pop bottles. Besides that, I'm not saying it's not fun. It's great. You know what I'm saying? Having fun is nice. But you do have to make sacrifices. Most of the traders that you see that are actually speaking sensible things are people who've sacrificed, fun, freedom, and taken complete discipline in order to achieve their goal. Also me right now. Do I want to research? Do I want to listen to a 2-hour podcast of some old nigga who's not going to help me how to trade? No, but I have to. Why do I have to do that? Because I have to plot out what I want. No one is going to give me what I want unless I create what I want. You know what I'm saying? So trading teaches you self-reliance. And that's the biggest skill that you learn from the trading space. That's the best skill you learn from trading space. Risk and all that can be calculated in abstract. I'm going to make a risk video, SMCs and fractionalization, then abstract risk. It's basic. You just have to do it once. Everything in the market, you do it once, it stays in here, and then you can create plans from there. That's what I believe. If you do it once, you're great. If you can do it twice, you're the best.